So yesterday's stream about cognitive dissonance was so popular, I decided to do a part two. I also did a terrible job of coming up with examples at the time of what cognitive cognitive dissonance looks like in example and what it might look like in your life. We're going for round two. My name is Coach Bruce, and I'm a life coach for ADHD parents. And today we're talking about cognitive dissonance again. So one of the interesting examples of cognitive dissonance I thought of was a Christian racist. It is somebody who believes that Jesus Christ died for our sins, that kindly or sorry, cleanliness and kindness are close to godliness, but somehow they find it okay to subjugate other people because of their race. That is two things that are diametrically opposed that a surprising number of people are still able to believe and somehow live their daily life feeling like that's okay. Another good example is a crooked cop. You are supposed to be an upholder of the law, but at the same time, you think it's okay to take kickbacks for yourself because of whatever reason. And what I believe to be true is that you might be able to live with yourself for a long time with these instances of cognitive dissonance, but at each point, it is eating away at you a little bit. You know, in your heart, maybe even somewhere deeper than your heart, in your soul, that there is something wrong with how you're living. And it has become the American dream to swallow the lie that you are okay. So you just pretend like you don't see that dissonance and you just push on living the dream that you can be whatever you want and do whatever you want without any sort of repercussions happening. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with living a life that you want. The problem becomes when you start living a life that you feel like you have to. And I think the biggest cognitive dissonance that ADHD parents deal with is trying to live the life that you feel like you have to against the life that your soul wants to live. There is something inside of you that is trying to get out. And as you're trying to force it to fit into this one size fit all lifestyle and dream, it is going to continue to cause you to act in ways that are not really making sense to you. For example, like I didn't really understand the effects of me forcing myself to believe my identity was a firefighter. I did not want to do firefighting as a career. I was doing it as a financial decision, and it was to provide for my children. And doing it for that reason would have been good enough. That would have been something I could have clung to. And if I'd have been honest with myself, I could have said, I'm doing this to provide for my family. This is not who I am. But because I wanted to fit in, I made myself believe this is who you are. This is your identity. You are a firefighter. And from the time I stated that to myself and out loud, I knew that I didn't know, but there was something wrong. I started to, the internal turmoil kept getting greater and greater till I started acting out in ways of obvious attempts to disconnect and distract from what was going on inside me. And this is what happens as an ADHD parent whenever you are trying to live a life that doesn't belong to you, is you're going to try to disconnect from this urge inside of you to do something different. Because doing something different is scary. It is fucking terrifying. And most people are not willing to take it on because it is, especially if you don't know what that feeling is, you don't know what to do about that feeling. You don't have any sort of plan about how to manage that feeling and how to turn it into something actionable. So it's really hard to give into that feeling and to do something different. That is something that we tackle in our coaching sessions is what is this feeling inside of you that you have? Let's try to uncover what I'm trying to tell you because it's not the same for me as it is for you. My feeling was that I was supposed to be a coach for other people, helping them to uncover what was important to them. That is what was inside of me trying to get out. And once I started to live in alignment with that getting out, started to live in alignment with that purpose, the feelings of wanting to distract from my life, wanting to, withdraw from my family, wanting to engage in like behaviors that made me feel something quote unquote good stopped because I was no longer trying to trick myself into liking life. I just liked life because I was working towards purpose. It doesn't mean it's not hard. And some days are tough, and some days I'm exhausted, and some days I'm anxious. But the thing that keeps me into it now versus checking out is I check into my purpose. My purpose is what actually helps me get out of bed whenever the anxiety stuff. My purpose is what helps me check in with my family, because I know that without them, I cannot do what needs to be done. I need them. They are what fills me with energy and love. And I want to give that to them as well. And that helps me to drive farther and go deeper in my purpose and to not give up. But if I didn't have that, I didn't have that before. And what got me out of bed was being on somebody else's time. It was fear. Whenever I was struggling to get to work in the morning, it wasn't because I have to go do this job because I'm going to go save some lives. No. For some firefighters, that is what does it for them. And those are the people who are happy on the job. For me, it was like, I'm going to be late and I'm going to get fired. I'm not going to be able to feed my family. It was all fear. So that was not my purpose. Whenever you are living for yourself, whenever you are living a life that you actually care about, really matters to you, you want to get to it because you know that you're going to be connected to something that actually matters. And as an ADHD person, it was so much easier to work consistently from a place of being engaged with the work that you're doing versus being afraid of losing something about that. That works for a while, but the amount of stress it takes on you, the amount of trauma it puts on you, is fired or quitting or leaving randomly, or just getting fired with no reason whatsoever. There's a reason. Like, I very seldom was there no reason. It's just, as an ADHD parent, it's hard for us to see the wake of different, I don't know, garbage behaviors we're leaving behind us whenever we're out of balance. Whenever you're not in alignment, you can't even see the damage you're causing, but you feel it. You just have been taught to ignore it. If you are tired of ignoring that feeling, if you are ready to get inside of you and deal with that nagging feeling that's telling you that there's something more for you, then that's what I'm here for. I would love to help you. I'll give you a free consultation call where we'll dig into that feeling, and I'll give you at least three strategies that will help you start to release the guilt, shame, and fear that you operate on a daily basis and start to uncover the impulsive you. I would love to work together. I hope to see you on the other side. That's it for today, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.